Oh,
Oh, I can describe it for you, don't worry.
thank you. Hello. How have you been this past week?
I've been good. It's been good so far.
That's good to hear. So for our next section right now, we're going to be going over some new things and try to gain some insight. And I hope it's okay that I record and have your consent during this session.
Of course, yes.
All right. So have you had anything new come up this past week?
Not like this past week, but I would say like a couple of days after our last session, me and my mom had gotten into another argument. Basically, it was about like my money habits, because what happened was so I have a car and like I pay my own car payments on that, and basically what had happened was when I did that, I guess like my money, because I tried to do like split payments on my car, so I paid like $200 at this point, and like the rest of the money on the end of the month before my payments due. And I guess like the money didn't go through, so then I ended up spending, like I didn't have the amount of money to use for the car, and so like, I called my mom and talked to her about it, and she kind of just like, I don't know how to like really explain, but she kind of just like threw it in my face, and she was saying like how like I'm not like good enough to like get my own car. She knew I wasn't ready, and then she would just like say a bunch of hurtful things to me.
How did that make you feel?
It kind of made me feel like low, if that makes sense. Like I feel like it kind of like I was crying because like the stuff she was saying was really hurtful, and it really like affected like the rest of my day, because like she made it known that like I wasn't doing good right now, and I kind of just feel like that kind of like, I don't know, it really affected me for that day.
So does your mom know that you'll feel this way? Would you do you convey your emotions to her in a way that she understands how you're feeling?
No, I don't. I kind of just like don't talk to her about how I feel, because she just never takes what I say into consideration.
So have you tried any other approaches, or what approaches have you tried in the past?
I would try to like do things that would make her happy. Like I kind of like would do things like clean the house up for her, or I would like what's it called? Like I would just like do things for her that like I know that like no one else would do for her, or like I'll go to the store for her when she needs something, or that's like I'll just like do random things to like get her like approval, and it just never work. I think like everything I've done so far just doesn't work.
Have you ever gone directly asked, hey mom, do you need anything done, or what would make you happy, mom?
I don't really do that. I kind of just try to do what I can do to make it work.
Do you think that would be more effective because you wouldn't have to guess, and then you could just go and be more on the target and not off the jump?
I would say, I mean, it could work, but I just feel like the kind of person that my mom is, it wouldn't really be effective.
So how would you describe your mom?
Well, I feel like it's really hard to like describe her, because like I feel like I see her in like two perspectives. Like I see her as my mom, but then I also see her as a woman, as a both woman. So I feel like as a daughter, I would say like I just feel like she's not the best mom that she could have been. I feel like there's a lot of times that she could have like done better for me, and like could have been there for me when I really needed her most. I kind of just feel like she kind of just like didn't really do the things that normal mothers would do with their daughters. Like I never went to her about any like boy troubles. Like I never like opened up to her about like when I was going through like changes with my body and stuff like that. But like as a woman, I can understand like, you know, why she is the way she is, because I just feel like maybe that's how her like mom had treated her. So I kind of feel like it's like hard to like be mad constantly, but at the same time it's like I don't think I deserve that from her.
So how would she feel if your brothers were the ones cleaning and all the stuff that you did to try and get her approval and happy?
I feel like she would have been fine with that. I feel like she would have like been grateful for them for doing that. I kind of feel like if I was to do it, I feel like she would have just been like, that's just a normal thing for you to do. Like it's nothing serious.
So in your family, is the standard for boys and girls different, or How would you say the difference?
I would say that like within my family and my household, my I feel like my brothers, they don't really do anything. They're very lazy. Like they don't really, they don't like really do anything. Like they're just on the game, and then that's about it. Meanwhile, like my dad has done like a lot of sacrifices. Like he was in the military, so like he made a lot of sacrifices, and so I feel like now he's like retired, so now he's kind of like he can do what he wants type of thing.
Right.
But like, and then my mom, she's kind of like. In our household, I kind of feel like she's like the boss, if you would say that, because I feel like she takes care of most of like the financials, and then she takes care of like groceries and cleaning and cooking and all that stuff. But I feel like for me, it's like I feel like I got put so much pressure on me, like growing up, because of like with her, she would like just like constantly like put me down or like. And it made me feel like the stuff I do isn't enough for her.
Mm-hmm. So, how has your dad said to approach your mom? Have you talked to him about it outside of like a heated situation and just in general?
I have talked to him like on like a serious note about like the stuff that like my mom does do. And like at first he kind of just thought it was like, oh, you're just going through that like stage of life where like you're irritated by your parents and you're just trying to like you're just arguing with them. It's just a normal thing.
Right.
But I feel like as I continue to get older and like more mature and like actually started to like mature into the person I am now, I kind of just feel like my dad kind of like saw like how my mom was treating me differently from my brothers, and like how like the stuff she would say when we get arguing would be like completely different. So I kind of just feel like that's like what is like the problem.
Right.
She just it's like there's like nothing that's like coming from it.
Right. Are you the oldest sibling?
No, I'm the middle child.
So, was your mom does accept more of your older sibling than you?
Yeah, like I would say like between like me and my brothers, because I have like an older brother and I have a little brother. I feel like out of all of us, like my mom put the most pressure on me, which I feel like was like when I have like my friends that like are older children, they're always like, oh, I have like all the responsibility to make sure that my siblings are good and it's like there. But I feel like with me it's like the opposite. Like I feel like I'm the one that's getting told to like do this, do this, do this, do this. And I feel like my brothers don't have like that type of set expectation.
Mm-hmm. So, does she treat you different when you're around or family, or how does she treat you at family like functions or outside of the house?
I would say like she acts like we're all good. Like she acts like we're close, or she'll act like she knows me. But then I feel like it's just like a front. I don't feel like it's actually like genuine, because I feel like then when we get home, it's just right back to how it used to be.
Right. So, how have you gone to try and approach your mom? And like, have you ever tried to do anything to try and make progress outside of just cleaning around the house and getting her approval? What other approaches have you taken?
I tried, like, because, like, my dad would be like, well, maybe it's just, like, the way you talk to her. Maybe it's, like, your attitude. Like, try to, like, fix. So, like, I would try to, like, catch myself to make sure that I'll make sure, like, my voice is very, like, monotone. Like, not too much, like, sass or attitude in my voice. I would, like, talk to her normally. Or I would just, like, if I feel like I was frustrated or angry about something, I would just, like, walk away. I wouldn't, like, instigate into the problem to make it like more bigger than what it was. But I feel like even that, like my mom would like follow me if I would walk away. Like she would follow me and she just continued talking. And then like with the other stuff, like she still would find a problem with how I said something. So it's like I feel like there's nothing to do about that.
So would you say that she is the problem?
I never like thought about that. Because like I feel like it's my mom, so I don't think I feel like it'll be kind of like hard to be like you're the problem.
Right.
So I mean I never like really sat back and thought like if she was the problem, because I kind of always thought like it was a me problem. They were like my fault for everything. So I don't think I've ever like thought about if my mom was the problem.
So if you were to just do nothing and kind of like be in your own space, would your mom end up causing a problem if you're left alone?
Can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
If you were like, let's say, you're kind of just doing your own thing, you're in your room, relax, do you think your mom would eventually come up and bring up a problem, or things would just be fine on its own?
I would feel like it would depend on her mood, because I do notice that like when she's in like a better mood than she normally is, that like she tends to just like leave things alone. But I feel like there's been so many times like when like she's in a bad mood, that, like she'll come to my door and then like she'll like open it, like she don't even knock, she just comes right in, like, and like she'll come in and she'll just like start going off about like, oh, you didn't do this, oh, you need to do this, oh, why did you do this? So I feel like it's kind of hard to like know when is like when she's gonna be in a good mood, when she's not in a good mood.
So have you had a conversation to her about that? Do you feel type of way of her knocking on your door? I mean, not knocking, just entering.
I definitely have brought it up because, you know, at the end of the day, like, I feel like privacy is a really big thing, especially like when you're in a house with like majority brothers. And like I feel like I did bring it up at one point, but I don't think like she takes what I say very serious. I feel like she kind of just like blows it off and just like, okay, whatever, like I'm not like even like when I talk to her, she's just like always on her phone, like she doesn't even like take the time to like put her phone down and like just actually talk to me face to face. And like there was a time where like she like took my lock off my door, and that kind of like, I don't know, I feel like she kind of like does this thing where she makes it known that like it's her house, it's her room, like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm living in her house, like it's not my room, it's her room, but I'm letting her, like she's letting me have the room. It's like a weird like thing she does with me, so it kind of just shows that like she has this like, I don't know, is this like a power trip?
Right, like she shows off her authority?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what it is. Yeah.
So, what happened to make her take the hinges off your door? Or take your door off the situation?
So basically, like, I guess, like, there'll be, like, situations where I'll, like, lock my door if, like, I'll say if I was, like, changing or something like that. But I guess, like, I would forget to unlock the door. So, like, my mom just, like, because she never knocks, so she would just come in. So, like, she would try to come in, but it would be locked. So then she would, like, she would always say, like, if you keep your door locked, like, I'm gonna take it off. But I never, like, listened. So I kind of just kept doing it. Like, it was never, like, intentional. Like, I never did it, like, spite her to, like, get under her skin. It really was just, like, I would just do it and forget. So then she finally, like, came to my room with, like, a screwdriver and, like, took the lock off my door. And then she, like, replaced it with, like, a one that doesn't have one. So then, like, after that, I forgot how long I had my door like that. I think it was, like, for, like, 2 months. And, like, those 2 months were so, oh my God, it was so bad because, like, my brothers would, like, walk in on me and, like, my dad would come in and my mom would come in, like, so it kind of just, like, I don't know, it kind of gave me, like, a sense of, like, I didn't have, like, a safe place to go to because, like, she would just constantly do that.
Right. So, is that, like, a commonality where she won't like something, but you'll do it on accident?
Yeah, I would say there's times I feel like, cause like I don't understand how like she views things. I don't know if she thinks I'm doing it out of spite, but I would say that like when we're like talking and stuff, I feel like I'll do something and then she'll just be like, oh, like you're doing this. Like I told you I didn't like when you do this. But I feel like there's times I don't even like really realize that I do it until like she brings it out.
So do you think, does that happen with your brothers often as well? The same thing?
No. I feel like it's kind of different with them. I feel like it's like a different like dynamic.
How would you say? How would you describe it?
Like with the door situation, I would say like my brothers kind of like lock the door as well. Especially my older brother, he like tends to lock his door a lot, and like my mom threatens to take it off, but she like never actually did it. And same thing with like my little brother, and like she would just like keep threatening, but she would never actually do it. But with me, she like actually did it.
So would you say she more so makes an example out of you, but not your brothers?
Yeah. I kind of feel like I'm kind of like I'm more like the right.
Like you're the one who'll get punished, where the others was kind of escape by.
Yeah, like I'll get like the punishment, but they'll just get like the warnings and stuff.
So, how does your dad go about punishments? Do y'all all get equal punishments, or is it the same as the way your mom would do it?
With my my dad, he kind of does equal like punishments. Like if we're like if it's like two of us like fighting or something, like he'll get like do a punishment that's like for equal for both of us. He tends to like not like to punish us because like he's not like he's very soft when it comes to us. So like he doesn't like to like punish us or like make us feel like less of ourselves.
Right.
So I kind of feel like it's very hard to go from like my dad to my mom, like where it's like two different like styles of parenting. So I just feel like with my mom, it's like, but I just feel like within my mom, it's like she treats my brothers like how my dad would treat all of us,
right.
and then she treats me kind of like the weird one.
Right. So, what if you just sat down with your dad and mom and showed the differences between how you're treated? Would that end up going anywhere, or how do you think that would be received?
I think it wouldn't really do anything, just because like of the fact that like when we're doing like, I feel like in general like my family isn't like a typical normal, so to say, family. Like I feel like our dynamic from like say my friends are very different, just because of the way that like we go about things. And I feel like with the way my mom treats like me and like how she treats my brothers, I feel like my dad, like when they get arguing, because they do argue a lot, I feel like majority of their arguments is revolved around me and like how I'm getting treated around the house. So I kind of feel like that kind of opened my eyes like as I was getting older to like how like significant I guess like my presence is in the household, because it's like I didn't know that like they'll fight over me. Like it'll be like arguments about how like I'm getting treated in the house and this and the third. And I just feel like my mom, she kind of just like will treat like it's not a big deal. Like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you know, she can handle it, blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like if I was to sit them down, it wouldn't really go anywhere.
Right. Do you think those arguments cause her to act more harshly towards you?
I would say, yeah. I feel like because like having my dad stick up for me, I kind of feel like it plays a role in how I'm getting treated more, because I feel like she kind of sees that as like, I guess like him being there for me, like him sticking up for me is like showing that I'm not like good enough to like handle it on my own. So like I guess like when I go to my dad about my problems, like and like she knows I go to him, she's like there was one time like we were in the car and like she threatened to, it was like storming really bad, and she like threatened to like kick me out the car, cause like it was like me and my brother, and like my brother like they're my brothers, so they like typically like they just like mess around with me to get a reaction out of me. And I remember they like, I forgot what he had did, but it caused me to like let out like a little scream, like a little ah, and then my like mom, she like slammed the brakes on, and we were like on the road, we were on a road, and we were driving, and like she like stepped on the brake, and like we all like got that, and then like she was yelling at me, and I was trying to explain to her like, no, it's just because of what he did, like I wasn't trying to like yell at you when you're driving. And then like it was like like it was like the type of like it was like flooding the streets and everything, and then like she was like, she told me like to get out the car, and then she was telling me like get the F out, like I don't want you in the car, like you can walk home. And I guess like I have put my AirPods in because like I kind of like use music as a way to like not, I guess like let it get to me as much.
Right.
And I put my AirPods in and I kind of like put up like full volume, and then like I guess like I just ignored her. And then like she like sped home, and then like she like went right to my dad and was just like, she kind of like flipped the story and made it seem like I was like doing things out of spite and I was doing this, and then he came to me like, you know, why are you doing this, like why are you like messing with your mom, like, and I was like, I didn't even do anything. So I kind of feel like she takes like what happens and like kind of like just twists it on me.
Does that happen a lot where your brothers will do something to you, you'll react, and then you'll get punished for it?
Yeah, I would say that happens quite often.
So, do your brothers ever step in and say, oh, I did something, I'm part of the blame? Or they just let you take the full blame?
They let me take the full blame. I don't think they ever like would take accountability for what they do.
So, does your dad just like, will he see what happens and hear both sides of the story unlike your mom?
Yeah, so what he would do is like, if me and my mom are having an argument, he goes to my mom first, gets her side about how she views things, and then he'll come to me like, okay, well, your mom just told me that you did this, that, the third, so what's your side? And then like, and he'll be like, oh, she didn't tell me this, or like if I tell him something like she had did, he'd be like, oh, you know, she didn't tell me that, you know, so I kind of just feel like that's kind of like how it is in our family.
Well, it seems we've approached the end time of our session.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot of like not anger, but the problem is usually pointed towards you from your mom, and we could expand upon that next time.
Okay.
All right. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, you too.